What's up, comic fans? Welcome to the show. We are about to investigate the new comics coming out this week. This is the last call, so make sure to fill up your cup. We're going to get to the comics right after this. Welcome back. You know the rest. We're going to look at this week's comics. We're going to start off with DC from our friends at the League of Comic Geeks. Really not much out there from DC that I'm checking out. The only book I'm looking at is Future State, the next Batman, number 4. But we do have a Batman Catwoman book, number 3. I know a lot of you guys are checking that out. And I've heard a lot about Immortal Wonder Woman being a pretty good series. Have not checked that out yet. So, Batman, the next Batman, is the one I'm looking at. This is chapter 4 of this series. This, I believe, is the last book in the next Batman series. It has been a pretty good series. What I will say, John Ridley's done a really good job working with everybody on this series to write a really good tale. It does carry a big price tag, right? So we have this Tim Fox story as Batman, big $7.99 price tag. And for a while that kept me away from the book. I did find it at 20% off cover. Honestly, reading it, the stories are pretty good. If you're going by the amount, you get 64 pages. The $7.99 price tag kind of makes sense. So you're getting a lot of meat for what you're paying. All right, so it's a big meal, it's a big dish. When you take that into consideration, the $7.99 price tag, not as big as it seems. Still a lot for a book. All right, but it is enjoyable. I am digging Tim Fox as the Batman. It's a learning experience, right? It's like a young Batman. He's got a lot to learn. He's still figuring it out. It's good. There are some side stories. This one's going to have Batgirls, which is a pretty good, it was a pretty good tale. I believe part 1 was in issue 2, and part 2 is in issue 4. And then you've got the Gotham City Sirens, which I believe was in issue 3 or issue 2. It was in issue 2. All right. Here's cover A. And you see Tim Fox kind of contemplating being the Batman. And there's always a cover B. And there's your cover B. Pretty cool. I believe that's a Jim Lee variant cover. So Jim Lee hopping on the train. All right. So that's all I got from DC. Let's keep it moving. And at the end of the, just telling you what I'm going to pick up, we're going to do our 3 specs. So stick to the end to find out what those 3 specs for this week are. Okay, so getting into the comics, we got Image Comics up, number 1. First off, not a lot this week, I think, that I'm picking up, except maybe with the exception of Marvel. We'll get to them. Alright, I know a lot of people are reading Family Tree, good series. I started reading that. I'll get on it eventually. We got Ha Ha, number 2. Number 1 sold out real quick. Went to second print, lots of variants. This book seems like it's also got some heat behind it. Here's cover A. Right, Zoe Thorogood is doing the art on this. Looks like this is a mother-daughter road trip clown experience. This is a six-part book too, and it's an anthology, so whatever you got in 1 really won't carry over into issue number 2 and so forth. This is cover B by Martin Simons. Just to let you know, a couple of shops have already sold out on cover B, so if you can find the cover B, it might be worth picking up, as that seems to have really drawn the attention of comic fans. Martin Simons is doing some good artwork these days, and his covers seem to be going well. He's also the main artist on Department of Truth, so that might be part of the reason why he's so popular these days. So that is Haha. I will be looking for that. You got Stillwater, number 6. This will be the end of the first arc of Stillwater. When we last left off, Ted, who's a real not a good person, not a nice guy. He was meeting up with some ex-Marine buddies at the end of it, and it looks like those guys are going to be causing some trouble in the town of Stillwater. It looks like the action is picking up in this book. So, I'll be picking up Stillwater from Chip Zdarsky, who's also doing a Daredevil series, doing a bang-up job, Mr. Zdarsky. Alright, we're moving on. We got The Walking Dead, for you Walking Dead Deluxe fans this week. Number 9, in color, 3 covers. It's a good series, and I like it in color. Wasn't sure if I would enjoy it, but it's pretty cool in color. I'm not going to get every single issue, but the few issues I've looked at, pretty cool. It's a different perspective. Alright, we got Dark Horse. You got some stuff coming out of Dark Horse. If you're a Stranger Things fan, you got that. Hellboy, you got that. Alright, IDW, 2 books. The big book this week, The Last Ronin, number 2. People have been waiting a long time for number 2 after number 1 came out. If you got number 1, that was a big hit, big seller. Number 2, there's a lot of anticipation for number 2, so I anticipate a lot of people will be getting that book. If you remember who Baxter Stockman is, it looks like he makes an appearance in this book. And, we get a little bit more of this Last Ronin story, probably a little bit more of the history as to what happened, how we ended up in this nightmarish future, and what happened to the rest of the turtles. So, looking forward to reading this. I think when we last left off with issue 1, we were introduced to April O'Neil. I like this book. We'll see where it goes. There's 5 issues of this. At this pace, we're probably not going to get issue 5 till December. So, alright. We're on to Marvel. Lots of books from Marvel this week. You got ASM number 57, second print. I'm not buying Black Widow, but this Adam Hughes cover is pretty dope. I'm just saying. Don't hate on this. That is really cool. Alright, moving on. Just wanted to point out that Adam Hughes cover for Black Widow number 5. You got some Cable, you got some Captain America. For you Alien fans, there's a Captain America Alien cover. Ivan Shavrin. Alright, keep it moving. Got some Champions. Yep, got some Guardians. Here we go. Hulk. This should be a cool book. This will introduce, this is not one of my spec books for the week, but there will be a new Gamma villain in this book. This is Immortal Hulk Flatline number 1. I'm looking forward to reading this. Declan Shalvey wrote the story, drew the story, did the cover. There is a variant. So there's your variant. I'm definitely picking up that Hulk Flatline book. That looks like a good one. Got some Iron Fist, some Iron Man. King in Black, number 4 of 5. What's a god to a king? We're gonna probably see who the God of Light is in this book. So, this might be a big issue in the King in Black. It's been a really good series. I recommend picking it up. And there's also the exclusive prelude to Demon Days by Peach Momoko inside this. So make sure to get your copy of King in Black number 4. There is a tattoo variant. This is more intense than some of the other tattoo variants. The other ones were more symbolic. This one's straight up got Doctor Strange on it. Pretty cool. There's a spoiler cover. That's a cover with a scene from inside the book, so we're not gonna investigate what that cover is. Don't want to spoil that cover for you guys. We got another connecting cover by Lanil Yu. Here's a semi-big book this week. I don't think it'll go for more than cover, but it's a crazy cool cover. This is a second printing of the Lee In-hyuk Gwenum Carnage. I believe this was a 1 in 50 cover. So this is a second printing, not 1 in 50. But pretty cool nonetheless. You got a little Carnage, Mary Jane action going on there. What else we got? Got some Planet of the Symbiotes, King in Black tie-in. Marauders, love this series. To me, best X-Men title out there these days. Jerry Dugan killing it. Here you go. So it seems like they're kind of in a new arc, but the Marauders are returning to Madripoor to pay tribute to some fallen friends. Looks like things are going to go sideways at some point. So, Marauders number 18, really good blend of like action and comedy. I really enjoy it. You got Spider-Man, Miles Morales, some MODOK out there. I heard MODOK's pretty good. We got Savage Avengers. This is also a really good series. Also Jerry Dugan. This is Conan the Barbarian and Deadpool doing what they do best, heists. They're going to run into some trouble with the Hellfire Club in this one. But they're out to have some fun and steal some items. So, I'm about it. It's a King in Black tie-in as well. Alright. Let's keep the party going. You got some Spider-Woman. Thor number 12. Looks like it should be a good issue. You've got Dr. Jane Foster Valkyrie versus Donald Blake in part 4 of this series. As we know, Thor is trapped in another realm because Blake is now in the real world, and he's, Thor's gotta stay back and behind when Donald Blake is taking over, and vice versa. When Thor's in the world, Donald Blake's out there in that made-up world of his. But it looks like they're fighting for the 10 realms. Should be an epic battle. And this is really for not only the future of Thor, but for all 10 realms. Alright, moving on. Here's a Shaw variant. Jeff Shaw. Alright, that's alright. I'll probably just stick with cover A. And you got X-Men Legends number 1. Couple of covers for that. Alright, Dynamite. We'll take a quick look through Dynamite. And you got the Dynamite series. Their zombie apocalypse series. Some cool covers. You got a Peanut homage cover. So that's cute. That's fun. And you have a Dr. Seuss homage cover. Alright. It's been done. Not the best one I've seen, but pretty cool. Alright. Here are the rest. A lot of books. Red Sonja, Secret Six, Vampirella. Lots of them coming out. Boom Studios. Abbott. Didn't read Abbott, but I know issue 1 sold out. I think it's going to second print. You got The Expanse for you sci-fi fans. You got The Dark Crystal for you mythic fans, you fantasy fans out there. Once in Future number 16. Dan Mora. Kieran Gillen. Really love this. Bridget and Duncan are a great duo. You got Bridget the grandma, Duncan the grandson, who's kind of learning how to be this monster hunter. It's a really good fantasy, real world kind of series. Action packed, lots of comedy. Good series. Recommend it. And for you Power Rangers fans, you got Power Rangers number 4 coming out. Boom. I know there's a lot of Power Rangers fans out there, so Wanted to shout that out. All right, here's a couple more books coming out. We got Serial number 1, first printing sold out. This is the second printing by Terry Moore. So it just seems like this is a good book to grab. A lot of people liked it. You've got the Recount number 2 coming out. Number 1 sold out and it went to a second printing. Pretty good series. And last but not least, we've got Bite Sized. Let me see if I can find the cover for you guys. It's all alphabetical, so if I knew my alphabet, be able to get there. Bite Size number 3. A lot of people love this book. It's cute. It's fun. Little sci-fi action. Little holiday action. Happens around Christmas. Cullen Bunn, excellent writer. So that's it for those books. All right, guys. Now it's time for some spec talk. So let's get into the 3 books that I think you should spec on this week. We got Haha number 2. Number 1 did well. I think number 2 is going to go above cover. We're probably looking at a $10, $15 book when it's all said and done. And you definitely want to grab, if you could find it, that B cover as well, or in lieu of the A cover, because that one seems to be selling out everywhere. All right. Next up, we got King in Black number 4. If we hit on who the God of Light is in this book, this will be a big pickup. Also, you've got the exclusive Prelude to Demon Days, Peach Momoko's first ever written book with interior art and the cover art. So she's doing it all in that book. Obviously, there'll be other covers where other cover artists have done the covers, but she's doing the interiors, writing, and drawing. So this looks like it can be a big book. There's some alternate covers. All right. And lastly, we have The Last Ronin, number 2. I don't think it'll reach the prices issue 1 did, but I could definitely see it going for more than cover. There's just a lot of anticipation with this book. Not sure what's going to happen in there. Doesn't look like there'll be any introduction of new characters. Baxter Stockman will be back. But I think this might be one of those quick flip type deals. So I would definitely grab 1 or 2 of these. The 1 in 10 doesn't seem to be going for too much, maybe $20. So you don't want to pay more than, ratio for that one. But this will be a little bit more than cover. It'll be a, get it and get rid of it. Also, I just want to read this story, so I'm going to get a copy just to keep. This isn't a sell for me because I want to keep this one. But these are the books I think, guys, will be important to spec on this week if you are speculating. All right, guys, so that's all I have. Thank you again for joining me on this investigation of the books coming out this week. Again, this is probably your last call because it's Tuesday and DC books are coming out today. Marvel books, Image books, Boom Studio books, all the rest of the books coming out tomorrow. So make sure you do your research so when you get out there, you know what you're getting. All right, guys, do what you do. I'm going to do what I do. I'm going to get ready to go comic shopping. Peace!